walked away from the Democratic Party after being a registered Democrat for over a decade. I was an activist on the left for like 20 years, and I was raised a Democrat. But I walked away because I realized that the modern Democratic Party does not reflect the values of liberals anymore, or certainly doesn't reflect any common sense values, not in my opinion. But a lot of the reasons why myself and other liberal leaning individuals voted for Barack Obama were because a lot of his policies and ideas. And those same policies and ideas are now demonized by the Democratic Party. For example, Barack Obama was very strict on our border. He deported the crap out of people. He implemented travel bans from certain countries for we all know what reason, right? And most of us liberals, we were like, hey, dude, you're doing a really good job. But then fast forward a few years, which I had TDS for the longest time, but fast forward a couple years, now Donald Trump's doing it, and now the entire Democratic Party is like, this is bad. This is bad. We cannot have borders. Borders are invisible lines. This is stolen land, and everybody who comes here should get free health care, even if they're here illegally. And if you don't believe us and you don't agree with us, then you need to be wiped off the internet. You shouldn't be allowed to talk because you're racist and you're xenophobic and you're uneducated and you're a bigot.
So we see here, we see the Democrats are anti-American, if you really want to look at it. Everything that they're in favor for now is against America. It's against Americans. They are not in favor of Americans winning. They're in favor of illegal immigrants winning. Why? It's because illegal immigrants, immigration is their only voter base. Real Americans don't vote for Democrats. See what I'm saying? What we see is from these Democrats, they want to keep people here that are not from here and take care of them because they want the vote. This is why they're pushing against voter ID. This is why they're pushing against ICE, DHS. This is why they're pushing at these things, because what's happening? Their voter base is dwindling and they don't know what to do. So when you look at them and you hear everything that they're saying, you're like, you guys can't believe this, but they have to, because that's the only way they can stay in office. She's right. A lot of things that Trump is doing now, Obama already did. Obama was called a deporter-in-chief for a reason. He did travel bans for a reason. Did everything that he do was great? No, but I'm definitely in favor of him being deporter-in-chief, because what happens is, now we have Americans able to have the ability to work, get jobs, get benefits that they need because you're American. That's the tough thing about Democrats, man. And when you talk to them and you see them on TV, you see the liberal white woman going crazy, colorful hair, people on, transgenders that are on these medicines, doing these shootings. You just see that the liberals and the Democrats right now, they're crazy people. That's what you see online. You see liberals and Democrats are the ones that's being crazy, protesting, fighting for no reason, just cause, chaotic, against America. So what are you supposed to do? A lot of people that were Democrats have left and became Republican. Just like she said, she had Trump deranged syndrome, but then she looked back and said, hold on. Trump, what he's doing is trying to help Americans. He's trying to put us in a good position. He's not trying to take from Americans. When you look at the Democrats, you say they're not for us. That's what it comes down to. The policies that the Democrats believe and that they're pushing now is anti a lot of things that Barack Obama did, but also, too, it's anti-American. So how could you vote for that if you're American? There's no way that we shouldn't have a voter ID bill. They're holding that up on purpose. Democrats didn't even want to vote for having people get deported when they do Medicare fraud and all that stuff. That's insane to me. Like, why be a politician in America if you're not going to be for America? So now we start to see that they're crazy, they're delusional, they're doing this on purpose, they do not care. So what are you supposed to do? Vote for that? If you're American, I hate to say it, you shouldn't vote Democrat. Everything that they are for right now, everything they're for right now is anti-American. They are not for Americans. So why would you vote for a politician that's not for America? It just doesn't make sense.
That's where the Democratic Party has went. They also, like, I was a huge advocate for legalizing same-sex marriage because myself and a lot of other liberals were like, equality, equality, equality. But now we have the mainstream Democratic Party who's doing the exact opposite of advocating for equality, which, I mean, at this point, what do you advocate for in this country? But they're advocating for equity, which is the freaking opposite of equality. Okay? So it's like a lot of these liberal ideologies and liberal policies that have been forefront in the Democratic Party, at least in my lifetime, are now bigoted. They're now bad. They're now not reflected at all within the mainstream Democratic Party. And so what did that leave me to do? I had to go vote for Donald Trump. The first time I voted for Donald Trump, I still had TDS, but I was thinking it's better than voting for those people who are raising their hand on the debate stage saying free healthcare for all. I'm like, I can't do that because I want more affordable healthcare. Who doesn't? Barack Obama, in my opinion, didn't do a very good job, but it's going to make it worse if we try to give free handouts to the whole wide world. I'm just saying. But either way, I encourage all the liberals, and I know more people see it now than they did in 2020 when I walked away. But if you're seeing what I'm seeing, walk away. You don't have to become a Trump fan. You don't have to become a Republican. You don't have to become right wing, but be done with the Democratic Party because they do not represent you. They represent progressive socialism, not liberalism. They actually wish really bad things on you and I. Trust me.
What we see here is this. This is what we see. I'm telling y'all. When you vote as an American. That's how you have to vote. I'm voting as an American. Which party at the time that I'm voting is for America? That's how you have to vote. Do I believe in loyalty to a Republican, to a Democrat party? You know what? I really don't. I believe in being loyal to being an American. Right now, if we look at it, the Republican Party is more in favor of America. The Democratic Party is not in favor of America. So this is why I don't understand why people want to be so loyal to a party. But what if your party is not for America? Do you still vote for them? Remember, when you're voting, you're not voting as a Republican or a Democrat. That's why I don't like when people ask you, I'm for America. I live in California. We have a lot of politicians. We have a lot of people in office that are not for California. But a lot of people vote for these people because of a certain color party that they are, which is idiotic. Make it simple and ask yourself, when I'm looking at this person, what are they running on? Is it good for America or is it bad for America? Is it good for my state or is it bad for my state? Too many people are voting because they're attached to a side, right? Yes, am I Republican, conservative? Absolutely, but if I see a candidate that is on my team or on my side and they're not really for America, I won't vote for them because I put America first. Should we give health care to everybody even though they're not even legal or from this country? Absolutely not. That's not for America because why? It takes money from our taxpaying dollars and goes to them. That doesn't make no sense to me, right? Am I going to vote for an attorney general in California that's going to sue Trump because Trump opened up the oil pipeline offshore so we can make sure we have gas and cheaper gas? Would I vote for that guy? Absolutely not, because he's against Americans and against Californians saving money at the pump. You have to vote based on what's right and what's wrong. That's what we have to start seeing. We got to stop being so loyal to either side and start being loyal to America. That's the thing that we have to really do. Be loyal to America and vote based on, is this good for America? That's what you have to do, because there's a lot of people out here that's just voting for a certain color just because it's a certain color. You need to vote on basically on saying, is this good for my state or is this good for my country? Doesn't matter who you're voting on, but are they good for what you need them to be good for in America? That's the important piece. Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's always going to keep this thing rock, keep it going. Make sure you tap into the No Filter Morning Show Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I appreciate you guys locking in, and I'm out.